Hi there, this is Kathy Crow here at the Crow Cottage. Thank you so much for joining me here in Springfield, Missouri. Oh boy, it's a hot day today. In fact, my hummingbirds are gone. I had to look online and see, do they leave in the summer when it's hot? I just put out stuff for them and they're hiding. It said that they go into hiding. It's going to be 100 degrees or more here today. It's going to be really hot. And so anyway, yeah, they go into hiding because their bodies just cannot handle that kind of heat. So I'm not surprised. It's pretty hot out there. I wanted to water before, I went and worked out today, and wow, I felt like I'd worked out even though I had only just gone out and watered our roses, and they had some black spots, so I had to spray them too. So anyway, that was good. I got that done, and oh, my clock, it is 1 o'clock, and there we go, it's done. I get used to hearing it, so I don't even think about it. Today I am going to share a milkshake. This is an old one that's been in our catalog for a while. I love it though. It's a really good one for a hot summer day. And I'm going to do the spiral die with this as a background. I'm sure you've seen it. These are not new. Today I'm just going to do an ordinary card. I was going to do a fun fold today, and then I realized I just did that fun fold a few weeks ago, I think. So I don't know. I'll have to look in my video. I didn't think I had this particular one, but maybe I did one that was similar. And I didn't want to repeat, so I just thought, oh, that's okay. We'll just do a simple card today. It'll probably go a little bit faster than normal, which might be nice for you if you have things to do. I finished watering, and then I went and did my workout, but I was sweaty already even just doing that. And at least I see there's a breeze out there right now, and that's wonderful, because when there's not even a breeze, oh my goodness, it is just tremendously warm out there. So anyhow, it is nice to be inside where it's nicely air conditioned, isn't it? Oh, I need to turn everything like this way, I guess. My stand, I need to move my stand again, because it's not easy for me to get this into the frame exactly the way I want it. And this means I have to kind of stand and do weird things here to get it to be exactly squared up where it needs to be. So let me move my paper. Oh my goodness, that means I can't do it that way. Okay, we're gonna have to just go with it like this, because I do this every week. I'm so sorry. You would think I would be better at this, but I'm not. It's because I don't know why. I don't know why I'm having such a hard time getting my camera fixed properly. It won't. So anyhow, all right, we're gonna go with that. Am I going in the wrong direction? I can't tell. Oh, okay, this way. All right, it is good to have you. I do appreciate you liking and sharing my videos. Thank you so much for doing that and for joining me on YouTube. I know a whole bunch of you are watching more on YouTube, and I've kind of thought about going just straight to YouTube, but anyway, I haven't done it yet. All right, covering this up because it glares so much. And then let me move those dimensionals down and my tape down. And then I can push this up a bit, and then I think we're all finally set. It is tilted a tiny bit, I know, but my camera's just not letting me really turn it any. I hear it squeaking. Okay, there we go. That's a bit better. All right, I think I'm finally set. Took long enough, didn't it? At least now you can see everything really well, I think. All right, let me move this light over here, and then maybe that lighting will be better. Okay, it is tilted. I know I can't do anything about that, but it doesn't matter, because the card we're going to do today is going to be fairly simple, so it shouldn't be all that complicated and difficult to figure out. I think I want to start with a spiral die first of all. It is a really big stamp, and you can get your big giant block. We have a big one, and I rarely use it. I don't really even need it for what I'm doing today. So I'm just not even going to use my big block. If you have a big giant wooden block, you can even just stick it on that, and you know it'll hold it too. This glass mat is really nice. I'm just going to stick it on this glass mat to do it. So this, I've already got a piece cut out. I don't even know what size. I assume it's 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, because I just cut a sheet of you know, white cardstock into that and had it sitting over there on the side. So I know that's what it is. I am going to move this. I know the glare is going to upset things a bit on the camera, but I'm going to just stick my my stamp. I'm sticking it right here. It's not going to go anywhere on this glass mat. It's going to stay right there very nicely. And today's colors are going to be real red and pecan pie. Really good thing. I want a cherry. What's your favorite ice cream? So I'm going to do cherry. It should be very yummy. Now, this is going to be pretty dark. So I'm going to just do, I'm going to do 2 different stamps on this. So I'm going to get ink all over my hands. There's nothing I can do about that. I'm going to put this down here and then just put, wherever it lays, that's where I'm not moving it. Once you've stuck it on there, you're stuck with it. You can see all the ink I'm picking up on the sides kind of moving around here on the back. It's messy. This is a messy big stamp. And I'm going to bring it up. That's how it looks. Then I'm going to shift it. And then I'm going to shift it like this. Okay. And then I'm going to just do it again. And then this is going to be good. So if you've ever done tie-dye, this is going to be very reminiscent to what you did with tie-dye, because it's messy. You know, there's nothing you can do about it, but it looks pretty good. It's going to be a nice focal point right in the center there, isn't it? And I did get some water on a paper towel just because red is a really messy ink. So when you use it, if you are going to immediately clean your stamp with your Simply Chamois, it's going to get super, super messy. And I've learned to just have some, if I'm going to do something with a big stamp, I'll wipe it off after I've cleaned it with that, because it's going to just be way too much mess. And see, that's quite clean. And I can just move that over, and now we're done with this one. So that's a lot of the time how I do these background stamps. They're so big that if you take a stamp and go slamming it on to your cardstock, it's really easy to shift. I find it's easy to shift it doing the way I just did it too. It's something that you just have to practice with. We did used to have a stamp apparatus, which helped with the big stamps, because the stamp was on the plate, and you could press down the plate, and this had magnets, you know, on it. So if I'm needing that background stamp to be super good, then I will use it that way. Now this is my background piece, so we're gonna just set this aside. I don't really need it, because right now I want to do our little ice cream. Ice cream for a hot day. And I've got all my things cut out here from the dies. I've already got it all cut out. I know I did my ice cream cone. Where did I do you? There you are. Okay, so I've already got one. I wanted to have it all glued and ready to go. So what you do with your waffle cone die, just cut it out. I do it with, these are actually cinnamon cider. But today we're doing pecan pie, so I cut one out of pecan pie. I already assembled it just so that my glue would be dried. It actually goes together really quick and easy, though. Once you've done it, you can, if you want to make the little lines show up a bit better, you can take your die and just dab it into your ink. Now, I didn't do this with the one we're going to use, because I don't need to. It looks pretty good even without doing this. But if you want all those little lines to show up, you can take your die and put, oops, I missed a corner there, and it's going to be too messy. You have to make sure your dye is not very, because you just want the very top of it to be, you don't want the whole thing to be inked up or you're going to have a big mess. So, because this is a nice new pecan pie, it's kind of messy. Instead of doing that, I'm going to just take my brown marker, if I can find one here. This is actually copper clay, but that will work. Just get your fat tip. And you can do it with sponge. You know, you can do it with whatever you want. But basically, I'm just coloring those top lines just gently. If I get it a little bit on the other parts of the die, it's not going to be a big deal. You just don't want a lot, like right there, what I just did. You probably don't want that. But if you're just coloring it a little bit, try to be careful and not do what I'm doing, because I'm kind of marking it in ways I don't want to. And then if you've let it set a little bit, just breathe on it like that, and then stick your paper right back where it was in there. Give it a press, and it will slightly mark up your lines. Okay, now it didn't mark it very much, so I'm gonna press it a little harder this time. There we go, that worked out better. And then you get some definition with your lines, but you don't have to do that. That's just something that adds a little bit of, you know, so you're not taking your pen and drawing. You don't want to do that. That's gonna take way too much time. So we're all about saving the time when it makes sense to. So this just folds and folds, and then you put a little bit of glue on here. Just a little. You don't want a ton, but it's not going to hurt anything anyway. And then we can make sure that corner's coming good. I didn't fold it right on the fold, strangely enough. And so now there's my little waffle cone. And then to make sure that it's all staying good, just give it a clip until you're ready to deal with it. Make sure you don't have glue in there though, because you want your ice cream to go in. So that's how you do your little waffle cone. Isn't it cute? I love these. They're so fun. Very, very fun. So anyhow, you're going to love using this. If you haven't got this set already, you should get it. It's got the little hearts. It has foam for the top of your drinks, a little spoon. And today we're going to use this little background piece, which is nice to have as well. So I'm going to get that one out. But we'll leave all the other little doodads in there for now until I'm ready to use them. Okay. So, oops, let's grab, stuff tends to stick to the photopolymer stamps. Because it's a photopolymer stamp, you can see right through to see what you're stamping. It's just really nice. All right, so here is just another piece of white cardstock, and that's what we're going to be stamping with. So I'm going to put my camera down just a little bit closer, so we can see what's going on a bit better. I've got glue on my nails. I can feel that. I'm sorry if I cannot see comments. I don't know what's going on with Facebook. Facebook today, I even tried establishing this feed ahead of time to see what's going on, because they're obviously limiting all of my... They're limiting everything. Like even my own relatives are not... They're not getting notifications. They have no idea what's going on. And they've asked me several times. There's nothing I can do about that. So I don't really know, and it doesn't really make any difference to me, because I just figure a lot of people are probably in the middle of summer. It's pretty hard to plan things when you're doing summer. So I just thought everybody was busy, but not since absolutely. So you've got a solid die for the color, the background color, and then you have this this lined die that's going to make your glass look cool. So you just need to decide what you're going to do with that when you want to do a milkshake. You know, what I'm doing is ice cream. So I don't really even need to worry about that part of it, really, because I was going to just do the ice cream cone. We tend to like ice cream actually more than that. But this is the part these parts are going to be the ice cream. So let's go ahead and stamp those. I guess I don't need my black. I am going to need my, we're going to go ahead and use my, let's see, if we're going to have cherry ice cream, I think we'll use our real red just to stay in the same color family, but I'm going to stamp off a bit and see what we get. So we'll do this. I want chocolate cherry. Chocolate cherry is really yummy. Now that will work. It's a little dark, but we'll do one more and see. That might be too light. I don't know. We'll just see. I'm just going to do one, and then we'll go from there. And then we want another flavor. We always have 2 flavors. How many flavors do you have when you're doing ice cream? We like 2 flavors. And I'm going to make mine chocolate and cherry. I like chocolate. Yum, yum. Now, where is my pecan pie? That looks not quite chocolatey enough. I'm going to go with copper clay. I think copper clay is going to look more chocolatey. Let's see. Let's just have a look. Oh, yeah. I like that. That's going to look really yummy. And then you'll want sprinkles on top, of course. What did the ocean say to the beach? This would be a good one if you were having ice cream at the beach. I don't like ice cream at the beach. It's probably going to get ruined if you do that. All right, we do have dies, so let's cut those out. I'll put that up, and then we're going to go ahead and just cut these out. Those. Wait, my magnet doesn't want to hold that one. Why aren't you matching? There we go. I don't know why I wasn't seeing it right. I just wasn't. Today's been one of those days where everything just feels off a little bit, and I think it's the heat. Just kind of messing with me a little bit. When I went to put something away in my shed, I noticed some things, or garage, that I couldn't find stuff. And then, oh, come on, magnet. We're going to just abandon that one. I don't know why that's having trouble. Sometimes when you put a second magnet on it, it messes with the first one significantly enough that I just do one at a time. When I'm doing this all on my own, I only do one at a time, because like that one, it takes longer to keep moving and moving and moving it. And then it also can mess it up really bad too. So when it pushes it through, the magnet can get shoved around. So we're going to just do this a few times instead of worrying about that. And then I lost my phone. I was thinking, I kind of need my phone. Hey, Aunt Connie, how are you? I kind of needed my phone to do this today, so it was important for me to find it. My aunt knows my family history, so she's probably going to tell me my Alzheimer's is kicking in, and who knows, it could be. It's gonna probably, I don't know. One of those things, it's like, well, I don't know. I probably won't know, and I don't know that I want anyone to tell me either. I might prefer to just be blissfully ignorant. Jeff won't know any better. He'll be in the same boat, probably. Okay, that's cute. So I've been seeing that there are all those fires up. Jeff told me that there were fires up in Moses Lake. No, not Moses Lake, Medical Lake. And that, when our son lived in Cheney, I was pretty close there. In fact, he worked at a pizza place in Medical Lake. And so we were wondering how that's all affecting you guys, if you're getting a lot of smoke there in Coeur d'Alene. It's been really smoky in the Tri-Cities, I think. I don't really know. But it just seems like fires are much, much worse when you have... You used to have conservationists taking care of such things. Now with environmentalists in charge, now we are having major forests ruined every single summer. So hopefully people are waking up and getting back to the conservation effort rather than the environmentalist movement, because it ruins the environment. Imagine that. All right, so we've got some pretty dark red. That's my cherry chocolate chip. I'm going to put chocolate chips in there. And this is our little cone. Now, I'm going to kind of stick this in here just to kind of give it something to stick on. There is this nice little space for a spoon to stick in, so you can have that up if you want or down. I'm just sort of arranging this to see how I want this. I definitely want my more pink kind of stuff sticking out. And then we're going to stick my chocolate chip ice cream on top like that in there. Okay, now this is going to go on the top, and because of that, I'm really fussy about my edges. I really don't like to see a whole lot of white edge on some things. Some things it's fine, but some things I just cut it off. And if it's a really detailed stamp, I might not do it, but this is simple, so it's pretty easy to get that white edge off, and I just think it looks better. Again, it's just not always, sometimes not always. I got it really close there. That looks pretty good. Okay. For some reason, it's not bothering me as much on the pink. Probably because I can maneuver it a little bit and get the parts that are a little better than another. So let me put that together. Let's get the scraps out of the way, and then we can get it together. So we are really experiencing the hot humidity now. And a friend at our exercise place the other day said, well, so you came from Washington State, right? Yeah. And how do you like the weather? Of course, he knows we've been here more than a year now, so he was waiting, to get a real response, I suppose. But I told him it was a piece of cake because... For one thing, this weather hadn't hit yet. This is the worst we've experienced yet. Jeff said when he came home this morning at 7, yes, it's a little steamy out there. And it actually was. And part of it is because we don't have as much wind as normal. I'm going to put a couple of dimensionals just to get, I want this to be sticking up out of my ice cream cone better than it will if I only use one. Oops. Did I get one? Where did it? Oh, it's on the... No, it's not. Oh, it must have been shoved down in there, or I've got it stuck to my finger somewhere. Because I need a layer of 2, and I only see 1 in there. Isn't that funny? No, there's 3. So now I've got 3 in there. I just pushed it right on top of it so well I couldn't even tell. All right, so we're going to put this piece like this in there. Now I don't need quite so many. I think I better support it a little bit there. I'll think about that. I'm not really sure how I want to do it. I might just shove that to the back. I'm really piling in my ice cream. This is how I like to eat ice cream, like lots. Last time we went, we go to church every Sunday after church to the same ice cream place. And I kind of know which kids are going to give me a better ice cream cone than others. Because last Sunday I was like, oh, maybe I should order a sundae instead of an ice cream cone, because I think I'm gonna get shortchanged a little bit here on my ice cream cone, because some of them are trying to stay by the company standards, which is not to give you so much ice cream, you know, as they would probably like to give you, because of, you know, everybody's trying to cut costs. And I got shortchanged. I was looking at Jeff's cone and thinking, man, I think I got shortchanged on that one. All right, there are little mini dimensionals. Let's see if I can get those out. Put one of those on there. Because I'm kind of trying to get the effect of layered ice cream. I know I've done this set before, because I remember talking to you guys about what your favorite ice cream flavor is. Okay, there's my chocolate. We need one more really nice dark chocolate. Jeff likes dark chocolate. We're going to tuck that in behind so that we can see we've got a variety of ice cream flavors going here. Just chocolate alone is tasty, and I like it a lot, but in this card thing, it doesn't look quite as good as all by itself. You have to really know what kind of colors to mix it up with if you're going to do just chocolate. Oh, you know what? I want some of that white cut off of my cherry ice cream. Okay, there we go. Yum, yum. That's looking good. And then you can take your little spoon. This is just from Real Red. I've cut that out already with the die. And then I can poke my little spoon in there, and you'll need to glue it. I just need to get a tool to open that up so I can get my little spoon in there. It's kind of going the way I don't want it to. I don't want it going that way. Why did they do the spoons the wrong way? That's not the right way. I want the spoon going in the other way. I don't know why, I just do. Yep, that's gonna look good. I better glue that in before it falls out. Because I'm always dieting anymore, I have gotten so that I just have peanut butter cup ice cream and chocolate almond almost every single time. And the few times I've had cherry, I've been, you know, I don't get chocolate. I never get chocolate and or peanut butter either. Peanut butter is terribly fattening, so I'm very deprived. Poor, poor child. And so I'm sure they think I'm really boring because I only get those flavors now, just always. Okay, that looks pretty good. In fact, I'd say that looks delicious. Now we've got, our card is share a milkshake. It just doesn't seem right if you don't do a milkshake, so we're gonna have to do one. So let's go ahead and stamp it out, and we're gonna go ahead and do chocolate. Oh, no, I better not, because the thing is I want these little lines for my cup to stand out. I guess I don't have to do the fill with the color that I can probably do it however I want. Let's go ahead and we'll do chocolate. We'll see what happens here. I better do a stamp off version. It's pretty strong looking. Let's see what happens if I go this way. Okay, now you can see there's like these little bubbles in the ink, and if that really bugs you and you don't like that, that's part of the problem with photopolymer. You can try stamping on foam. It's still gonna happen. but maybe to a lesser degree. Part of it's the stamped off thing. I mean, it's just the way it goes. Let's try another one solidly and see how that looks. So that's how it looks different. There's still a little spot. There's little spots on my die that I just didn't clean off. And that's partly what will happen too. It's a very sticky stamp. So stuff sticks to it and then it's going to transfer. So if you are very particular about your images, you might not like photopolymer all that much. For me, it's like, I'll just take what I get and make it work, because I'm not going to, this is not rocket science. I'm not really selling this in a way that I am going to ever make any real money off of it. So it's fine. It's good. I like it. It's cute. And I could probably do real red and it might actually show up. I don't know if it will on that dark one. It will on the lighter one. So I could use cherry cobbler. It's a little bit darker, but this actually is pretty dark. So let's just see what happens. Because it's photopolymer, I can see right through it. Oh, it actually inks up some of it. Okay, this is going to be interesting. Let's do this dark one and see how it goes. It's been a while since I've used this stamp set. So I've kind of forgotten how it works. It's pretty dark and I came off of it a bit. Okay, I'm not going to re-ink it. Let's try going here. I think we're going to stick with that one. That one looks pretty good. And then I'll cut that one out. Now the red will stain these photopolymers also. Green and red. Blues can, but they tend not to so much. So there's just some things you just learn not to worry about too much. It's all fine. I could just cut it out, but it's going to go a lot nicer if I cut it with this die. It'll look a lot nicer. A die actually embosses it a tiny bit. I don't know if emboss is the word that I want, but what it'll do is it'll push down, kind of like beveled edges. It'll just bevel the edges down. It looks a lot better than when I cut things out. I do cut things out, but I prefer not to, just because it does look nicer with it embossed. Kind of a, like I said, a beveled edge. So I put most of the edge at the bottom of this cup. And that way, if I'm going to trim, it's going to be easier for me to trim this little bottom. Actually, I should have done it the other way, huh? Because it probably would be easier to trim the top since it's just a straight cut. I wasn't thinking very clearly. Imagine that. Okay, so if you do trim, that's another thing to just think about, is where the edges are going to be more easy to cut off. Because, yeah, doing it on the top would have been easier than doing it on the bottom here. All right, so I've got some of my milkshake, but obviously I need something sticking up. I think I'm going to just have foam on the milkshake. Now we've also got in here this really cute little straw. There's a couple of them. Let's do these little straws. They're so fun. This whole set is just super cute. And I do have on the side another new one to this year. Is super cool, goes with this one really well. You've got your fake Pepsi. It says sweet cola, but it looks like a Pepsi bottle. And then there's pie, there's delicious eclair pretzels. Boy, that would be good with cheese sauce. And here's a nice waffle cone already done for you. That one you just stamp with brown and color it in and you're good to go. The reason I got this is because of the pretzel and the words. You know, Pepsi, I'm not a Pepsi fan. I would turn that into root beer myself. All right, so let's do a little, a little pink straw. Sometimes these photopolymers, they can get a little bit wonky. So if they've been in your case, they're not quite straight because you stuck them in there and they got a little crooked over time. Just lay it like that. And we'll do that. So we have not quite such a strong red. I don't really want it to be too dark. And I want the little stripe in dark red though. There's a little stripe. Again, if I've gotten it, this is looking pretty straight, but if it wasn't, I would just stick it on here, stick my block on there, and then it'll be nice and straight for me. Now I do have to watch and see how I'm doing this. Hopefully I'll get it right on there. Pretty close. There is a die to cut these out, but come on, they're just straws. So the die actually does make it look nicer though when you cut it out, but if you're gonna trim the edges anyway, don't bother. Don't bother with the die. You can cut it. It's not that hard to do. And then I can cut off my little sloppy edges too. Okay, so there's partly one where I didn't quite stamp perfectly. Ah, it's gone. Now you don't even know I did that. All right, so what did the ocean say to the beach? Nothing, it just waved. Ha 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 ha. I need to save some of these up in my brain to tell our 3-year-old granddaughter when we visit her. She might actually, she won't catch on to that, I don't think. She's pretty smart, scarily so, but I doubt that she's that smart. Who knows though, kids these days, my goodness. All right, got your straws. Now we're ready to assemble. I do need something white to put all of this on because this is like super busy, and yeah, I don't want that on. I want a nice, I'm thinking a circle. We're gonna put this on the circle. So let's move my straws because they're the things that are the most likely to get lost and blown right off my desk. I've got my overhead fan on because it's pretty toasty. In this room, just because of the sun hitting it, and it's brick, and this room just has lots and lots of morning sun, so that is why it gets really warm in here when I'm stamping. After I'm done, you'll see my face will probably be all red. I'm fine. It's just that I'll be all red. We do have a really cute circle set. This isn't brand new. It's not out yet. You can't buy it for another couple of weeks. It's in the new catalog, but these are deckled circles. And this one, I'm just saying, we'll never use this one. I doubt I will. I mean, how am I ever going to... Actually, these outer 3, I will use them not on a card front, but maybe, you know, folding it and using... I don't know. It's huge, but I'm not complaining because I've been complaining about not having big enough circles. Well, this one's certainly big enough. This one is 6 inches across. So there you go. You've got all the way from the smallest to 6 inches. There's a plenty big enough circle for you. So we're going to take this one, and I think that'll give me plenty of room. Maybe I'll take the second one down. That one will probably give me still plenty of room, but not have to fuss with it quite so much. But the thing about having those layered ones is that you can take your, is this white? Let me try a different sheet for sure. That's actually what I need. Let's cut this one. so we're gonna, normally you would probably stamp your sentiment and then do this, but I'm kind of doing it backwards. I'm gonna do real red as a nice, or no, let's not do real red. Let's do pecan pie as a nice little border. And we'll see if it's going to be a nice little border, because sometimes these borders leave more of an edge than I really like. Let's see how much of a border we'll get. That's pretty wide. I'm going to cut it out, but if it's too wide, you could do 2 of these and then just make it a smidgen bigger rather than having it, you know, so big then. It can't even, if it's too big, it can't hardly even fit on my card. Why do seagulls fly over the ocean? Because if they flew over the bay, we call them bagels. Oh man, that one is sad. That's a sad one. Okay. Now we've got this backing, and I'm not sure that I'll use it, but we'll see. Now I want to do my little sentiment. Let's grab my card base that I stamped, and we're going to start assembling this stuff, and then I'll know what's what a little bit better. Now in my newsletter, if you're getting that, and if you aren't and you want to know how to do cards, you should sign up. It's a free newsletter. I put it out every week, and there are dimensions and tutorials and, you know, whatnot for my simpler cards. Anything that's really complicated, I'll give you a link to a video or just tell you where to go find it, because some things are harder to show than others. So we're going to go 4 inches. Trying to see, this side's pretty good. I'm going to want to cut that side off and this side, but I think we're good here. So we're going 4 inches. This is your standard card size. I'm going to just cut a tiny bit off, like 1/8 of an inch there. And then I'm going to come over here and I'm going to cut off another, a little more than 1/8 of an inch there. I just want to see how big this is going to be on my card. Let me grab a piece of pecan pie. And we'll cut that in 5.5. And we'll score this one. We'll just turn this in. Usually I like to have a white interior for my cards. Where is my score blade? I just bought a bunch of score blades. And I bet you it's on my desk here somewhere, but who knows where. I've got so much stuff. So I am so glad I have a new score tool. I didn't used to have any extras, and I wondered what would happen when I finally lost the one I have. Well, now I have one that I can use, and we'll take that. That's actually staying in my tray better. Maybe it'll stay in there. All right, so you're gonna fold that in half. This is just your standard card, 4 1/4 by 8 1/2. And then it's 5 1/2 that way. And then let's see what that's gonna look like. I need a little bit more off of this side. So instead of going 5 3/8, I'm gonna go, is that 3/8? 1, 2, 3, yeah. I'm gonna go a little more than 5 1/4, maybe 5, and that's probably like, I don't know, 5/16 or something. I don't know. I'm just going little bit by little because for some reason I have been cutting my lengths too short. And I don't know if it's my cutting boards kind of getting used and off balanced a tiny bit. I don't really know. Okay, now because I've got that border, I'm really thinking we're gonna need this. So let's stick this in here and see how it's gonna look. It's gonna be okay. This spiral die, I don't use it a lot because it's pretty busy. And when I have used it, I definitely prefer it to be pastels. just like my tie-dye shirt. If I had one, I don't anymore, but if I did, I would want it to be pastels because this is pretty bright. But I do think with this on and my milkshake, it's definitely going to look bright. If that's what you want, it is going to be bright. So we're going to stay with it. If it's too much, it might look a little bit better if we have, and just instead of just brown, let's see if we take another piece of red. Here's our real red. If I did a tiny, tiny border with that, that might, you know, make it match all together a tiny bit better. If I do that, and I am going to, I'm going to go ahead and trim this piece down to fit, because I'll need my real red to be 4 inches by 5 1/4. So if that's 4 inches by 5 1/4, this one's going to be 3 7/8. I'm going to cut this side. 3 7/8 by 5 1/8. Now, if you really love your background, you won't want that much off, but that one's pretty busy, so we're gonna just go with it like this. So 4 inch, no, not 4 inches. We want, what did I just do? You measure this. Okay, that's correct. All right, so we want, I'm gonna go a little bit bigger, not quite, just 4, and then 5. I'm gonna go a little bigger again, 5 3/8. I wanna make sure I don't have it too short. Perfect. So I've got just bare skinny brown edge, and then a little bit bigger border for my red, and that's just going to pull this all together just a tiny bit better, I think, than I actually think I want my red a little smaller. I did do it a little bit big just on purpose, so I can do these tiny 1/8 inch trims. Then I'll be able to see my chocolate underneath better, which is pecan pie. You know, they do pie really well here. Really well. Oh my goodness, it's so hard not to overeat all the time. I'm doing really good. You'll be proud of me. We are going on a big road trip, and in order to accomplish a big road trip without gaining, well, I will gain weight, even trying to be careful. I know we're gonna be gone a few weeks, so I'm likely to gain 10 pounds. So I've lost 12, but I was already almost, you know, I was already 15 pounds overweight. So what I need to do is lose another 5 pounds, maybe 6, and then that will put me a few pounds underweight, what I want to be. Obviously, I could stand being significantly less. I mean, I weigh a lot more than I did when I was in high school. Let's just say I weigh a lot more than that. So it wouldn't be bad to be even lower, but believe me, this is difficult enough as it is. So I'm going to be happy with that. Then that way I'm going to have to be careful. I will have the ability to eat a little bit, gain a little bit, and when I come back home, the goal is going to be that I have to lose 5 pounds instead of 20 pounds when I get back. So we'll just see. It's all just a little experiment in living. Like, what can I eat? How? So I've discovered that for every one treat out, regular meal, and we were talking regular meals here. I'm not even like super eating. I got 2 days of dieting to take that off, you know. That just is life. It's typical for many of us. So I'm not complaining. I'm in great health, so I can't really complain. My sister always says, "What's wrong with you?" She doesn't have to worry about that. It's like, that's just the way it is for a lot of us. You just are blessed not to have that problem. Okay, doesn't that look much better with that red around that spiral die? I love that spiral die. It is cool, don't get me wrong, but It's like super eye-catching. There is more white in it, so you can do layers of colors, and it's cool. You can do all kinds, but you don't really need to because it's so action-packed, this card already. I am not going to add any ribbon at all. We're going to just slap this guy on here. And let's do the sentiment on this first, and then I'll get these together. We'll put that on. Now, my little ice cream cone, you know, is pretty three-dimensional. So we are not going to want a whole lot of dimension on that label because this is going to be sticking up quite a lot. And when you go to the post office to mail you these cards, what you need to do is ask for, if you haven't already, I need to clean my desk. I can't even find anything here. Ask for non-machinable stamps because they sell them in the back room. They will go get them. They'll usually have to look at you like, are you sure? They're never really sure. What do you really want? It's like, I want your stamps that are non-machinable because I'm going to be mailing an envelope with something fat in it. But, you know, I don't want to pay for a package, and I don't need to. Your non-machinable stamp will work, and it's cheaper than buying, you know, sending all of your cards as a package. So anyway, you just have to be insistent, and then they will happily go into the back room and find the non-machinable stamps that only you and other card makers know anything about, apparently. And then there you go. Oh, here it is. It was a while finding it. Sorry. All right, You Are So Sweet is what I was going to do. Although I really like Super Cool, but I won't have room for that. So we're going to go with You Are So Sweet. So this one is super cool. It's just these stamps. So that one makes it pretty inexpensive if you are looking for a really nice stamp set to send to your grandkids. Unless they don't, you know, the odds are that there's going to be something on here that they are going to love. And that will be good. Okay, so so I could go You Are So Cool or You Are So Super because it's broken up differently. So that's nice because we're going to do You Are So with brown, our pecan pie, and then we'll do the sweet with red. And it's always kind of nice to be able to do that. I really want to position my stamp well. So what I'm going to do is put my block here in my grid, and then let's do it on the grid so that I've got a line in the middle of my block where I really want it. Now, it was photopolymer, you can see right through. This isn't really necessary, but if this was a cling stamp, I guarantee you will be happy to take the time to do that. Then you'll know your words are actually straight on your block, and you'll be able to just position it a little bit better than you would be able to otherwise. Okay, so You Are So, we're going to put this up here. Okay, and pecan pie. Doesn't pecan pie sound wonderful? Ooh, who likes pecan pie? But those of us who actually really like pecans, the first time you've ever had a pecan pie, you're expecting more pecans and less caramel filling. You Are So Sweet. And so, yeah, I'm not as big a pecan pie fan. I like pecan tarts. Those are like solid pecans. Serious pecan. All right, real red for our sweet. All right, let's see how we're going to position this before I do the word sweet. We're going to have this on here. We might only have room for that. I might have room for this too, tucked in underneath with our ice cream. But I do want to be able to see the word sweet. We're not going to put it here, although we could do that. But that'll cover that up. Like that and that. We could do that. Do sweet. Yeah, sweet's pretty big. So we're going to have to position it right underneath and then make it work. There we go. And the nice thing about stamping is you can double up your sentiment. Like if these are pretty strong colors. If they were more transparent, I could put sweet slightly over you are so, and you would still be able to see all of it really well. So it's just a nice thing to be able to do that is easier to do when you're stamping, not so easy on a computer. I know a lot of people do their sentiments on computer. Our colors are going to match the cardstock and because the ink is a perfect match. I mean, that's part of the reason we're doing Stampin' Up. So not only is the ink going to match perfectly, you can also just do some things with it that you can do on computer, but usually people who are a lot more skilled than I am with painting and publishing apps, I guess is what you would call them. Programs, I don't know. We used to just call them programs. They were like a floppy disk. That was a long time ago. Oh man, my overhead fan just blew off my stamp set and some things that I'm using. So, all right, so that's gonna go right there. Again, I would normally raise that up with dimensionals, but we're gonna go ahead and let's tip it. Then we'll have this here, we'll have this here, and that is pretty cute. Like that. Oh, my grid. Forgot about my grid. I do want the grid on here. I think it'll work. It might be too much. Let's see here. Like that. And like that. We might just have the cone on. I might have too much going on with this too. So we're going to just do the cone. We'll do that grid though. I do like the grid. It's pretty. Now I could have cut this out with, I should have put a strip of adhesive. We have adhesive sheets that you know, are just clear plastic sheets that aren't even plastic. It looks plasticky. You stick it on the back of your cardstock, and then you cut out these little tiny doodad pieces, and and then you can just stick it to your cards like a sticker. You just peel the backing off and it sticks right on there. I always forget. I even have them. I've had them for years, and I just always forget. Okay, so there's I just like having glue on my hands, apparently. Now this I'm going to glue down nice and firm on this back, and then that's going to stand up there really well. Let's do it like that. It's so tempting to put ribbon on everything. I like ribbon, so it's just too tempting to just stick ribbon on everything. But this is, like I said, pretty busy. Probably don't need to do that, but I'm putting a good bit of glue on that. This is going to have a tendency to want to pop off because it's just such a big bulky piece. So I'm going to go ahead and stick you right on there, push it down, and then I'm going to use my clothespin to secure you pretty well. Let me grab another one. I better get two on that. Oh, it's just barely reaching. I need a better one. I might put something heavy on that just to make it set. really good. Let's see, what have I got here? I've got a marble coaster. I think we'll set that on there. I didn't use my straws, and I'm not quite done. I know you're thinking that looks pretty done. I didn't put on the milkshake, but I'm kind of hanging on to it. Still got my little cherry. We're going to put that on there. I might get 2 of them. I think I've got 2 of them. Now, if I cut out hearts because I wasn't sure if I would use them, and I might put them on the inside of my card. It actually cuts, the die cuts out 3. There's just 1 die, and it cuts 3 little hearts out. Where is that die? I don't even see it. What did I do with it? I don't see that die. I'll have to find it. It probably fell on the floor when this fell. It probably popped off and fell out. Oh, there it is, right there. Okay, so there's your little 3 hearts. And then this is our foam that goes on the milkshake, actual milkshake. There's 2 pieces. I just cut it out of white. And then if I decide to put this on here, it looks like foam right out of your cup, and it's layered. It looks great. Actually, you can't have too much foam. When I do coffee at the coffee shop, I always tell them to put more foam on it. I get extra foam. Jeff will say, give her my foam. I get the extra foam. And sometimes they get it right, sometimes they don't. But you can't have too much foam. This actually is not foam. This is going to be whipped cream. Oh my goodness. So see how that would look? I'm going to keep that. I might stick that still even on our ice cream, even if I don't use that milkshake. And then those little hearts can go on the inside. If we're going to have cherry anything, then we can do cherries on the inside too. So I just went ahead and cut my pecan pie for my whole card, and I'm going to save that cone. We'll use that one later. See if this is staying good enough now. It should be. So I don't have to keep that on there. And then we can do our interior and we'll be all finished. And my straws, what did I do with them? There they are. I see them now. So if we want to use our straws, we've got them right here. I might use them on the inside, because if this is too much here, well, that actually looks better than if it's all on its own. So let's do that. So this one we can actually put dimensionals on. It's this is so fat that we can put this, have our dimensionals on the milkshake, and that'll look good. Now you need a tiny bit right there, so I'm going to just do a tiny, tiny snippet on the edge. And stick that on there. All right, and then we'll assemble our milkshake, put our straws in there. Looking good. And I need my mini dimensionals for this. Just a couple will do. All right, so if you are placing an order with me and you do two bundles this month, and it was in my newsletter if you saw that this morning, I am giving you a $10 discount back to you as a rebate. But you do have to buy 2 bundles. And a bundle is a stamps and the dies. It's not just the stamps. It's got to be 2 of them. I can't afford to do it otherwise. So that is the thing. And I will know that you are getting that discount really only if you are ordering the sweet citrus. That's just what the special is right now. So for the sweet citrus bundle that I have featured in my newsletter, which is sweet citrus and what is the other bundle? I don't really remember now. It's been a long time since I did that newsletter. I'm trying to think what the other bundle is that I did with it, but anyway. All right, so now we're ready for our little cherry. Isn't that cute? And the thing is a dimensional little mini one will fit right on there. So sweet, and you can stick it on there without a lot of fuss. Okay, and then we've got our other cherry for the ice cream. I'm gonna tuck you in here like that. And we're gonna tuck another one in there too. I wanted cherry ice cream with chocolate chip cherries. Really good though. Maybe I want to save some space for a chocolate chip. What do you think? I'll tuck you in here because I see something there I don't really want to see. So we're gonna do that. We'll take our straws and tuck those in like, let's do one here. Actually, I better glue the whole thing down. Sometimes I only need to put a little bit, but if there's going to be a lot of tugging on the card, you'll want to glue that whole bit down. Okay, there we go. And then if you want 2 straws, you could even stick 2 in there, huh? That's kind of nice. Probably don't need a straw in that. 2? We'll go with 1. If you want 2 spoons, you've got another spoon. You can do another spoon. And I think that's good. I don't think we need anything more. That looks pretty good. Now your sprinkles, your chocolate sprinkles, I forget what I've got in here for sprinkles. What do I have? Well, I know we sold sprinkles with this set. I don't think I got them because I don't do shaker cards all that often. Shaker cards are great, but they're so large. You have to mail those as a package. So I just don't tend to do them too much. But I thought we had some little ornamental gem things, this might actually work. That is chocolatey looking. I think I found something that will work. But I thought I actually had some real chocolate looking ones, so I forgot to get them out and I don't see them, but these will actually work because they're very brown. I think that'll work. We'll see. This one, Elegant Faceted Gems. I don't even know if we still have these. That's going to be pretty light colored. I think I'm going to use my marker and darken that up a bit because I wanted this to be chocolate chip cherry. Not sure if it looks chocolate chippy. Does that look chocolate chippy to you? Not to me. All right, we're going to take a dark alcohol pen. It has to be an alcohol one. Find the darkest one. I might be able to darken that up enough to make it look like chocolate chips. What do you think? I think that's going to look a little bit more like a chocolate chip. Okay, very good. Yum, yum. It still looks delicious, whether it looks like a chocolate chip or not. And I actually have 2 stray little red dots here. Let's use these guys since they're kind of like sticking there doing nothing. I don't know why they were there. All right, we are all set, and that is it. Today, that was pretty simple, and I hope you enjoyed seeing it done. For the inside, all you need to do is just cut, excuse me, 4 in 1. Oops, let's turn it this way. Oh boy, that was my allergies acting up apparently. Okay, 4 1/8, and then we'll go 5 and let's go 5 3/8 and see if that's the right size for the inside. I might want to make it a little smaller. No, I don't really. I want it to be that large. So that's going to give you room on the inside, plenty of room to write. And then you also will be able to stamp, because if you use that waffle cone at all, you are going to want to do this waffle cone from this super cool set. It looks really good. So let's do pecan pie, which is our matching color for the brown here. Okay, so we'll just do that really quick here in the corner. Like that. And then we can use our pen to color our cherry. And I just did it so that it was off the card, so it looks a little bit more casual, not like you've planned it quite so much. If you want other desserts in there, fabulous. I'm not going to do any of these other delicious desserts because I've got my hearts, and I think I might use that straw to finish this card off. But at least this has given me a nice big area to write in, which is the whole point. That's why I usually have all of my cards on what's this? This is cherry cobbler. Let's see how, if you use an alcohol pen, it won't really cover that up. You'll need to use a marker, and you'll probably have a little bit better luck getting it colored. Cherry cobbler, you're pretty dark. That's not doing it. Definitely not. And I've already just colored it, so now we're stuck with it. But we can use our, let's use, I think if I use my sweet sorbet, that might be just a little bit lighter in color for my cherry ice cream. Okay, so it'll match your card a little bit more if you do that. Just put a little bit more flowing down into your cone there a little bit. It's a little bit messy. Okay, I'm not going to color anymore. I don't need any more. You want that white highlight in there. And then you can glue this in, glue on the hearts. I could put a spoon in there. It'd be pretty good. We have new catalog coming out in 2 weeks. So if you need one, make sure you let me know. You do need to be a customer of mine to get a free one. And I would be happy to send one to you if you need it. All right, so cute. And then we've got our little hearts. That can go on there. All right, and we are about done for the day. Now my glue oozed out a bit there, so I will need to remove that because that'll be that'll be bad if I don't. You could stick a straw in there, but I think that'll be redundant. You don't probably need a straw. Oh, there's still one teeny tiny heart. Let's stick you in there. How did I miss? Oh, I see. That's the 2 I shouldn't have put. Really only needed 3, and I accidentally used that one. That's okay. We'll stick this little one up there. And we're a little bit sticky there, but good. All right, I think we're all set. Let me get my things out of the way so I can have a seat so I can see you. And you have a wonderful day. So this is how it turned out. Isn't that cute? Very nice. I think you're going to like that set. It's a nice one. And let's see here if I can turn you so that my camera's having a lot less issues than it did. I deleted a whole lot of notifications, which is probably why it's working so much better. Sweet. Sweet, sweet. All right, you have a wonderful day. Thank you again for watching, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. And that way I kind of know all the people I lose here on Facebook, because they're not on Facebook anymore. I can see that at least that you are on YouTube, and that's wonderful. Appreciate that. It's nice to hear back from you. And you on my newsletter, there's an email there that I check every day. If you want to send me any little notes about the projects that I post for you, I always appreciate those notes. So thank you so much. And again, new catalog in 2 weeks. Be ready for that. I'm not showing any of it yet because I don't like to until it's actually able to be purchased. And so maybe next week it's hard not to do because there's so many cute things, and that's what I'm really distracted with right now is a lot of fall and Christmas and Thanksgiving things. But actually, I'm going to just break my rule really quick and show you. I know you've probably seen it. I've already posted it on Pinterest, but there's this cute little crate. Oh my goodness. This crate is adorable, and it makes a whole little crate. So that's what's in the new catalog. So if you would like to do this, please let me know. Join my team. We would love to have you join us, and then you get to do projects with us. Have a wonderful week. God bless you. Have a safe, cool week if it's hot where you are. Hopefully you're staying inside like I am, nice and cool. And if it's smoky, hopefully you're able to stay inside too, because a lot of people are having a lot of smoke issues with all the fires all over. So our prayers are with you if you are someone that we know about. Just want you to know Jeff and I are always praying for you. And we really appreciate your prayers for us too. Thanks again. See you next week. Bye-bye.